Hey there guys, this is Corinna Bench from sharedlegacyfarms.com. I'm also the founder of mydigitalfarmer.com, which is a consulting service designed to help other farmers like me get better at digital marketing. And in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you all about tags inside your email service provider, and I'm going to answer the question, what kind of tags should I even be making inside my email service provider? Now, I use Convertkit. I love this software. I find it really intuitive and easy to use, and we all know that farmers like us who are not super tech savvy love easy tech tools. So I'm going to walk you behind the scenes of Convertkit and show you how to create a tag, how to create a segment, and what kinds of tags you maybe should be creating. So let's take a look. This is Convertkit behind the scenes. This is the main dashboard, and I'm going to scroll down here. This is on the right-hand side. You can see a listing of all of my segments and my current tags. And over here on the left are my subscribers, and I'm going to cover up their email addresses just for privacy's sake. But I often get the question, what kind of tags should I be creating, and what's the difference between a tag and a segment? Well, in Convertkit, it's a little bit different than in like MailChimp. In Convertkit, you're only paying once for each subscriber, unlike in MailChimp where you pay for each time a person gets put on a different list. So you might be paying 7 or 8 times for the same email subscriber because they show up on 7 different lists. So a tag is basically a way to identify a particular interest or buying behavior of one of your subscribers. And there are lots of different ways that you can tag a customer, but I love to tag as much as I can because then it helps me segment my emails. It helps me segment my audience and create emails that are really designed and speak to a very specific audience based on where they are in the journey. So let's take a look at some examples of tags over here on the right-hand side that kind of fall into several different categories. The first one that I would mention is that buying behavior would be a tag that you can create. So think about all the different kinds of products that you may sell, so big flagship type products or buckets of income. And you can create tags around that. So examples here, you can see that I label them all purchase dash. So Purchase Academy, Purchase Beginner's Guide to CSA, which is an ebook that I've written. I have bulk buyers, people who've purchased in bulk, people who are canners who buy for canning, people who purchased my 2017 CSA, 2018, 2019, people who purchased my 4-week sampler box, who didn't become full-fledged buyers but were kind of trying it out. My Facebook Mastery course for my digital farmers, and people who want to pre-order in the store, who aren't in my CSA, or maybe they are in my CSA, but they still want to order in advance in my online store. These are all examples of places that I get significant income and revenue. So I created tags for each and every one of them. That way, if I want to write a very specific email to a person that I know is a canner, I'm only going to talk to canners, and I'm only going to write to those 19 subscribers, okay? And I'll be able to quickly pull them out and segment them into a broadcast. So that's one great example of how you can tag customers, is just purchase dash and then, fill in the blank. Another common one that you'll see email marketers using is interest dash fill in the blank. So this is like the lead generation category. So each one of your flagship products probably has a lead category where you are trying to warm them up so that they will eventually buy that product. So they haven't become a canner yet, but they're kind of interested in canning. Well, maybe you have a category called interest dash canning. They might download a lead magnet that's the beginner's guide to canning equipment, but they haven't actually purchased from you yet. But you can then tag them as someone who's interested in possibly becoming a canning buyer. Maybe you have another category. Let's look at some of mine. I have interest in the Academy because the Academy is one of my core offers. Interest in CSA, and I have several of these. As you can see, there's interest prior to November of 2017 and after November of 2017. So one is obviously a bit warmer than the other. And then I have a list called Interest CSA Wait List. These are people who actually signed up to be on my wait list before I opened up my cart this season, and yet they still didn't buy. And so to me, I consider those extremely warm people that I could probably follow up with. Interest in farm dinners, interest in farmers markets. So people who don't want to be in my CSA, but who would buy retail at the farmers market. So do you see that I've created kind of this category of interest, and then there's fill in the blank of one of your product types. Another topic that you can use as a tag would be blog. So if you have people that like to read your blog post, this is a way to send a broadcast email out to people that just want to hear from you and see what you've written. So you can see I have one called blog. It even tells me in Convertkit how many subscribers have that particular tag. Staff would be another one, another category that you could use. Vendors, if you have particular vendors, if you do a lot of business with specific vendors and you want to send out information to them. Chefs would be another one. So kind of thinking through what are the different types of buyers that I have. So it's not just CSA members or farmers market, but you probably have chefs. You may even have wholesale accounts, so you can create a wholesale tag. Maybe even a region. I don't know how big of a farm you are, if you ship things through the mail, or if you are more of a regional farm than a really super local farm. Maybe you have created tags that are for customers by region, by zip code, so that you talk differently to those customers because maybe you have different items available for those regions. If you're a CSA, you could create tags for each of your sites. You could upload your members and tag them by site so that you can send out an email just to one particular site. And finally, I also have a category for challenges. Now, this might not be something that you would do, but I do a lot of challenges. You can see here, I've got the challenge crockpot, challenge freezer, lunchbox challenge. These are lead generating strategies that I use 4 or 5 times a year, where I do like a 14 or 21 day challenge. I get people to subscribe to this challenge. I send them an email every few days, encouraging them in the challenge. And it's just a way to get people into my funnel. And over time, they continue to get a weekly email from me. And eventually I pitch them on offers and I try to move them into some of these other interest tags and eventually purchase tags. All right, so that's kind of a general overview, I think, of ways that you could create tags as a farm. If you have some other ideas, I would love to hear what those are. You can put that in the comments of the video. Now, let me show you how to actually create a tag inside of Convertkit. It's very simple. You scroll down to the bottom of the list and you hit this plus create a tag. So I'm going to create a tag name for fruit share. Actually, I'm going to have it say purchase fruit 2019, because this year I'm going to segment by product more specifically. And I'm going to click save, and boom, I have just created a tag and it's going to populate. Let's see if we can find it. Purchase fruit 2019. There it is, and it has 0 subscribers right now. Okay. So how do you actually go about making a segment? Let's talk about that. The segments are located right above the tag section, and segments are different than tags because they are a way for you to combine tags into one general topic. And I like to create segments because when I send out a broadcast email once a week, rather than sit there and have to try and remember who to filter out and who should get this email from all of my tags and who shouldn't, and trying to just designate each and every tag, it's easier for me to set that rule up in advance, to create that segment in advance as a category, so that when I go to send out a broadcast email, I can just say, send it to the segment called CSA Leads, or to the segment called Farmers Market Store Customers. Okay, so I'm going to show you, here's some examples of what segments we use. We have a CSA Leads segment, a Farmers Market Store segment, and also a newsletter digital farmer section. I'm going to walk you through how to actually build a segment right now, and I'm going to duplicate the one that I already have called CSA Leads. So let's click on Create a Segment. This box pops up, and I'm going to type in CSA Leads, and we're just going to say number 2 just because it's kind of a duplicate. Okay, and now I have to set up the rule. I feel like I'm in math class now. If, then, but not. So here's how this works. Right now I have 0 subscribers in this segment. I have lots of different tags and forms that people have come through that designate them and show them as a potential CSA lead. So if I want to make this segment so that I can send out an email to people who are not customers yet of mine, who are not CSA members, but are maybe a little bit warm, how would I set up that segment? Here's how we're going to do it. matching any of the following. If you click on this arrow, it can be all, any, or none, but I'm going to keep it at any for this purpose. Then I'm going to click Add Filter. We're going to go to Subscribe To and then select. I'm going to hit Tags. Now I have to include all the tags that I currently have that sort of fall under this category of a CSA lead. I think I have 4 of them. So here's what they are. I have interest CSA prior to 11/17. I have interest post 11/17. I also have people who purchased my CSA sampler last season but maybe haven't bought yet. And then I have people who are on a wait list. I mean, they flat out said, put me on the wait list, but then for some reason when it was launch time and I tried to sell it to them, they didn't buy. Okay, so there are 4 different kinds of tags. All of these people, to me, fall under this category of CSA leads. And if I were going to try to send a broadcast email to someone to get them to warm them up to CSA, they would definitely be on it. So I'm going to click Add Filter. Here we go. You can see I now have 494 additional subscribers that will follow into this sequence, into this segment. But I want to make sure I cover all my bases. So I'm going to add another filter. So I'm going to say, hey, if you've subscribed to a form that maybe is a lead magnet for a CSA product, that's also going to hit some people. So in case some of these people didn't get tagged a certain way with my automation, if they come through a certain kind of form, I also want them to be in this segment because that would show them to be a lead. So I've got lots of forms that fall into this category. So I've got the advice for rookies from CSA members. I've got the harvest calendar that people download to see what's going to be in their box. That's a really big one. I have the, let's see, I think I have one called Quiz. Nope, apparently not. I have one called CSA Right For You. And I have a master list of kitchen tools that some people might get in. And we also have the checklist, how to choose your CSA. Okay, so I'm going to add this filter as well. Basically, I'm telling Convertkit, anybody who has been tagged with these tags over here on the left or has subscribed to one of these forms is going to be put into this segment called CSA Leads. Okay, you can see that's increased my subscribers significantly. Now I'm at 612 people who would get this particular broadcast email. Now it's possible that some of these people who came through this form or who got subscribed with a tag are some of my customers. And I want to make sure that those people don't get this email. It's also possible that some of my digital farmers who are following me might have come through some of these forms just to see what they look like. And I don't want to pitch them with anything either. So I want to remove those. Okay. So I'm going to add a filter group here where I'm going to say, and so all of this, and matching none of the following. So this is where I take people out. Subscribed to the tags digital farmer, purchased my CSA 2019, and I also want to take out past CSA members. So anybody who has not renewed, who said, please don't renew me this season, I'm taking those people out of the equation as well. I don't want to hit them up with a pitch to join my CSA, right? I don't want to hit up people who have already purchased. So in case any of these people came through a form at one point or got tagged as a lead at some point, but then purchased or they're a digital farmer, I want them out. So let's apply this filter and let's see what happens to this number. Boom, you see that? It's removed about 200 people from that list. So now I have a segment of people that are representing a truer segment of potential CSA buyers, 394 subscribers. And now I'm going to click Save. And I have just created a segment called CSA Leads. Now the next time that I want to go and write a broadcast, I'll click on Broadcast, I'll create New Broadcast, and the first thing that it's going to ask me is who's going to get this. And I'm going to say, not all subscribers, but anybody who is, within a segment. And then I can write CSA Leads 2 add this filter, and there it is, 394 subscribers. And then I can say next step, and here we go. I'm going to start writing my email to those 394 people. All right. So you can see how creating a segment can be a really powerful way to quickly identify who you want to speak to. And you can create all kinds of segments by grouping tags together. Well, there you have it. That's kind of a 101 on the difference between tags and segments, how to create them, and what kinds of tags are good tags, I think, for farmers to consider. If you want to learn more about Convertkit and how to use this amazing email service provider, please check out, I think they have a 30-day free trial. I will put my affiliate link below in the comments. I would appreciate if you use that link if you decide you want to give it a shot. I love, love, love this tool. It has changed my business, and it's one way that you can support what we're doing here at My Digital Farmer. If you liked this video, please give me a like below in the comments, share a question that you may have or an idea that you have for how to tag people. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you can get notified of future trainings. Thanks so much for joining me, and check out my other videos on my YouTube channel.